Music in hostels, for me primarily, it started out as survival. And I didn't come up with the idea. I was proposed the idea by a hostel manager in London, where I got free accommodation for playing music, which actually allowed me to do so many things that I couldn't do because I was busy before that, busking the life out of me to pay rent. So moving into hostel made sense if I could play just a couple of days a week, and then the rest of the time I'd be researching my project to walk from Cape Town to Cairo. And that became a model, you know. And by the time I circled back to Denmark about 10 years later, now 15 years later, I found that the format that I usually used um, to negotiate myself to when I came to a hostel, I found it waiting and already formatted, or I mean, as part of the format um, here at Urban House. So for me to see it and say that okay, they actually had a concept called play for stay, and I was like, wow, it's part of their concept, and that was really huge to me. So that was Urban House at the very beginning, um, with the concept, which was really, the concept was born out of really looking at the dynamics on the ground, and the cultural trends and dynamics and merging them together into a business. So at that time, I found that balance. Eventually, they sold to Meininger, who are, this is where you begin to see what we're talking about when we say the corporate sensibilities. And this is real. And if it wasn't because we actually have a climate change threat, and that we account for 40% of carbon emissions, I wouldn't go into this case as candidly and as honestly as I am. But on the other hand, it is very important, coming from a customer point of view, to be as candid as you can be, because it's the only way whoever is providing a service can improve that service. So it is not only an issue of improving the service, but also improving the meeting point for these minds and the guidelines, and also making use of it as much as possible, which is why I decided to spend a lot of time with with hostels and to really develop these ideas. Um, I see a lot of exploitation. Now, coming from a musician point of view, the playlists is the first place. I mean, the playlists that you see playing all the time, promoting artists who are already known. It would be so great for artists who play in hostels to actually hear our original stuff on the playlists, and to know that when the hostel pays coda money, a lot of that money comes to us. And if we continue staying with the hostel, then we spend more time in the hostel. So that's the thing that for me, it looks like, of course, that's what you do. Like, okay, if you have artists playing on stage, what you do is think, oh, put them in the playlist as well. And then, you can actually see where your coda money goes to, you know? And of course, I propose these things, but it seems people are very slow to understand. And that's where I'm saying that either we give them a chance to understand that, or we create our own hostels, because it's real estate. Um, that's how it goes. It can be done. People have done it before, and we can create the ultimate hostel, the ultimate climate-friendly hostel, because it creates the right climate-friendly culture and business savvy and business connections. That climate change is the foundation for the business. Um, so you could say that the CSR in hostels is very dismal compared to I mean, it does not live up to the responsibility that will be required of you if you're part of 40% of emissions. Then a lot more is required, and that means that every single transaction needs to be contributing to the solution. That's where we meet up with the corporate sensibilities again.